All right, hello everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with our DHS hearing. Mr. Johnson, what matter am I reviewing?
Yes, Your Honor. This afternoon, the court is reviewing Mr. James Chestnut, which should be the fourth case listed on the calendar, Judge. It is on the calendar for a child support modification, Judge.
All right, I have it now. I pulled it
Judge,
up.
it was previously before you on December 29th. At that time, we met with Mr. Chestnut, and who was present, Judge, in the hearing this afternoon, as well as a custodial parent, Ms. Kenesha Rogers, in a breakout room. And we discovered that there were pending criminal charges with respect to Mr. Chestnut related to his relationship with Ms. Rogers, Judge. He said those charges were getting in the way of him getting employment. Mr. Chestnut is the one that actually sought out the modification, Judge. Miss Sag Horton, who was good enough to be helping me on that case, she negotiated a temporary order, Judge, where his child support will go from $878, which was the original amount, Judge, in the order that I think Your Honor signed. It was a 2019 case, to $100 a month, starting February 1st. So since that time, no payments have been made. And as of December, even before that date, Mr. Chestnut did have an amount of arrears, Judge. Right now, that amount is to over $24,000 in arrears. He is prepared to make a payment of $300. I did meet with Ms. Rogers. She was understandably upset about the fact that Mr. Chestnut has not made any payments. She was not happy with the temporary reduction to $100 in the first place, because that's basically $50 per child. Right now, Mr. Chestnut remains unemployed. He did get a referral to the Fatherhood program. Our notes show that there wasn't follow-up on Mr. Chestnut's part with respect to when the referral was made. So that's where we are, Judge. He's still not employed. Again, no payments were made on the temporary order of $100 a month.
Okay, why was it reduced to $100 a month?
It was reduced to $100 a month, Judge. It was basically a judgment call we made because we were hoping that by June, that the DA's office would have made a decision on his criminal case. But when we checked leading up to this calendar, Judge, and even as far as close as this morning, it's still unindicted. It's still an unindicted case.
And was I involved in this decision, or was
you were not?
Okay,
you were not, Judge.
The $100 per month was okay. So originally it was $8 something a month.
$878, Judge. Yes, ma'am.
How much was he making per year at that time?
Okay. Let me see, Judge, because that looks like that.
I want to know what happened between that and the $100. Did he lose a job? What occurred?
Well, when we received the modification, Judge, he was shown as unemployed, and when we met with him, he confirmed he was unemployed. When I spoke with the custodial parent, she confirmed that as well. It's just a matter of whether or not he's doing all he can to find a job, Judge. But he has been unemployed for some time. Give me a second to pull up that 2019 case, Judge, and I can give the court additional information on what he was making previously.
Okay.
Let's see here. Unfortunately, Judge, it looks like the worksheet was misfiled. Hold on. Hold on. So at the time, Judge, Mr. Chestnut was grossing $3,250 a month.
Okay. All right. And we're not aware at this time what occurred between him making that much and him being unemployed.
No, ma'am.
All right.
He did give me some anecdotal information, Judge. He's been dealing with some depressive issues, and I don't know to what impact that's had on his ability to be employed, Judge, but he did make us aware of that, Judge, when I met with him.
Okay. And the criminal case that you said you were concerned about what was the DA office was going to do, what's that criminal case about?
It is aggravated assault, terroristic threats, obstruction, cruelty to children, Judge.
And your position was at the time that because his position was, I'm assuming he mentioned to you that because of those charges, he's unable to get employment?
That's correct, Judge. So we were hoping that by resetting it to give the DA's office an opportunity to make a decision, because he was arrested in 2020 on those charges, Judge.
Okay. All right. So let me hear from you, Mr. Chestnut, as to why the court should not revert this back to the original child support amount.
Judge, I can swear him in if you like.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chestnut, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right.
All right, you may proceed, sir.
She wants to hear from you, Mr. Chestnut.
Oh, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Why can't you pay the amount, the original amount? What's going on?
$898 that you're supposed to pay.
I'm currently unemployed, and I can't find employment.
Where do you live, sir?
From house to house.
Where do you live, sir?
I don't have a specific address. I live from house to house.
Okay. What house? Who's home?
Well, I was staying with my friend at one time, and then another friend from there, and then my uncle at one time.
Okay, where are you staying now?
Nowhere.
Mr. Chestnut.
I'm serious, Your Honor.
Mr. Chestnut. Where do you live right now?
I'm telling you, I don't have an address. I'm telling you. I'm honest. I'm being honest. I don't have an address, man.
So tonight you're gonna sleep on which corner? So I'll know.
I'm not sure. I might go to my uncle's house. I might go to my cousin's house. I may go to my friend's house. I don't know where I'm gonna sleep tonight. I honestly don't know.
3 houses that you go between.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what makes the decision as to whether you go to your uncle's house or your cousin's house tonight?
If they allow me to.
Okay. And is there any reason for you to believe that you won't be allowed at either of those 3 homes?
I'm unsure. I don't know.
Mr. Chestnut,
I really don't know.
have they ever told you not to come to their 3 homes of those homes?
One time my uncle did tell me I couldn't stay there.
Okay. And when was that?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay. And why was that?
He said he had family members coming over.
Okay. So if there's availability, you're welcome at those 3 homes.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes, yes.
And your position is that you eat how?
I get food stamps.
You get food stamps?
Yes, ma'am.
What address did you use for those food stamps?
I had the address, the old address, the 3549 address.
Whose address is that?
Where me and Ms. Rogers stayed. And then now I use a postal address.
And what postal address are you using?
It's on Wesley Chapel. I don't know the numbers right offhand, but it's 36 something, I think it is.
You pay for that?
My cousin do.
Which cousin? The cousin that you stay with from time to time?
Yes, but she no longer lives here. She stays in a whole nother state now.
I'm sorry, what happened?
She no longer lives here. She stays in another state now.
But she pays the monthly bill.
No, she don't live at the house that she live at now.
Yeah, but I'm asking you,
Yeah,
how do
she had the house that she had here in Georgia. She no longer lives here in the state of Georgia. She moved with her husband to another state.
how does she pay your box? How does she pay it?
With her card. Yes.
Her credit card, she pays it monthly for you?
I think so, man. I'm not sure how she paid. I think she paid by card. I'm not sure.
But whatever it is, it's
Well, which card?
a credit card that she uses to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't pay cash for it. You don't go up there and handle it. She handles that PO box.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so you eat that way, and how do you pay for your cell phone?
She pays for it.
So you have a cousin that pays for you to live at her home from time to time, pays for your mailbox, and pays for your cell phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so what places have you tried to get a job?
I tried a construction company. I tried a concrete company. I tried another job, like a driving job, which was a repossession company, because I was the company that I used to work for before I left the other job that I was at. I was doing towing for the police department. So I applied for a repossession company. Like I said, I was familiar with the tow trucks, so I applied for that job. Was able to get that
And why not?
background.
Have you tried places like McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, places like that?
No, I didn't try Walmart yet. No.
And why haven't you tried places like that?
Not because I don't want to. I mean, I just was going for jobs that would make more than minimum wage.
And when you were making $3,000 a month, how much money did you pay towards your child support?
Well, when I was on when I was making at the job that I was at, when I was making $3,000, me and Mr. Rogers was living together, and I was paying child support. I was on child support.
You were paying child support?
Yes, ma'am.
You were
Not
paying-
the whole time. Not the whole time I was on child support, but some of the time, yeah, she had me on child support and we was living together.
So your position is, for 3 years now, you have tried various jobs, and for 3 years, you haven't gotten any feedback for anyone to hire you. And your position is, it is because you have an outstanding pending charge. Is that what you've been told?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know what system they pulling up from or whatever they pulling up. They see that dude. It's not. I guess it's not saying pending, but it shows that I'm being arrested for those charges.
Okay. Do you have a car?
No, ma'am.
You borrow a car or use someone's car?
No, I got a bike. To be honest,
A bike as in a motorcycle, or a bike as in?
bike, a pedal bike.
All right, thank you. So let me swear in Ms. Rogers real quick. Ms. Rogers, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Rogers, you've heard Mr. Chestnut's testimony. Or do you find, or do you have any evidence of anything that's inconsistent with what he testified to the court?
I just find it hard to believe that in the 3 years he and I have not been together, that Mr. Chestnut has not been working. When before Mr. Chestnut and I separated, and upon us separating as well, Mr. Chestnut ran a very lucrative mobile detailing business where he had a mobile van along with a trailer, and he was actually doing mobile detailing for GBI. Like, they built that whole thing in the back specifically for him. So I just find it hard to believe that he hasn't been making any money. I just want to say that I also feel like he's not being held accountable, that in 3 years he has not contributed in whatsoever to our children's well-being, including the $100 a month that he was ordered to pay back in December. That couldn't even be paid. This is crazy to me.
Mr. Johnson, you said he was accepted into the Fatherhood program.
Yep, it looks like, Judge, when we looked at it, there was a referral to the Fatherhood program, Judge, but there was some issue where our notes show he wasn't cooperative with it. So I don't know if that meant following up with them, but sometimes they'll send us a blurb back, Judge, via email. So I had to get further details, but that's what we're showing, that he was referred, and due to some lack of cooperation on Mr. Chestnut's part, that ended his involvement in the program.
Mr. Chestnut, what happened to the Fatherhood program?
I did reach out to the guy from the Fatherhood program. He said that somebody was gonna reach out to me. They never got back to me, and the next thing you know, that they sent me an email saying that that I owe X amount of dollars or something like that, and then that my case was being referred back to the lady that was in the defects office that was handling the case. So after that, they never said anything about no Fatherhood program or anything like that.
Because apparently you didn't follow up with the Fatherhood program. That's what it sounds like.
No, I said when the guy sent me the email saying that I owe X amount of dollars from the Fatherhood program, he said that my case was being referred back, I guess, to the agent or whatnot. So after they referred it back to the agent, they never reached out to me. The agent never said anything about the case. I've been up there several times to the defects office, and they never said anything about the Fatherhood program. Even just alone, like the last hearing of the modification hearing, I've been doing my part as far as trying to handle the business with this case or whatnot. But the last court case, I didn't even have a Zoom meeting to get into the meeting. Like, I literally had to call them, and they told me that I was supposed to be in court that day, and I almost missed my court date. So I didn't actually know when the court case was going to be handled until I called them to find out when the court case was going to be handled.
So did you realize you were referred to the Fatherhood program?
Yes, ma'am.
And your position is, though, you never received any information on the Fatherhood program?
I received information on the program. I've checked in with the guy weekly, not weekly, but every other week, or when he called me, I spoke to him on the phone and we went over the information. And then probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that, they sent me a email saying that my case was being referred back to the defects agent, the child support agency.
Why was your case being referred back?
I don't know, man.
Mr. Johnson, other than the fact that you got that note, is there any way to determine why his case was sent back?
One of the agents, Judge, just looked it up on our system, and as of November 28th, 2022, he was removed from the Fatherhood program due to lack of participation.
But
Okay.
we sitting here, Your Honor. Yes, okay, I did run a detailing business before all this situation happened, yes, I did detail cards for GBI, but I don't think Miss Rogers is telling her side of the story. Like, and you know what, I didn't sit here to oust nobody. Her business is her business. But if we talking about income, let's talk about the income.
Mr. Chestnut.
I'm sorry, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't believe in doing like that space out talk where you jump to another issue until I resolve one. So
I understand that, ma'am.
don't do that because it absolutely doesn't work on me. I'm
sorry.
to issues for which we're discussing, which is the fatherhood program. I don't care about her income right now because I'm focused on the fatherhood program issue.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
On the fatherhood program issue, you were sent back for non-participation.
Ma'am, I did participate, ma'am. I did participate.
And you participated how?
What they told me to do is find jobs, look for jobs. I looked for jobs.
Did you have
the guy from that I was speaking to? He said that he was gonna call and check back in with me. He never got back to me on anything that was going on as far as what I need to do next or anything like that. I know that he told me it was some jobs that if I couldn't get the job, saying something about backed by federal bond or something like that. They never got back with me on how to handle the situation with that.
Mr. Chestnut, 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, he claims he was a part of the program. Obviously, he wasn't. Can he circle back into the program? In other words, can he get a second shot?
That's a good question, Judge. I mean, normally they don't allow, if the court makes it a part of the order, Judge, we can push it through. I can tell the court he was enrolled on the 7th of June, 2022, and he was removed in November, on November 28th, 2022.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Chestnut. I'm going to put you back into the fatherhood program. And basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to give you one last effort, because I don't see how you can go for 3 years and not have a job, okay? I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know if you're being particular about the jobs that you're looking for, but I find it disingenuous too, that you can't get anything in 3 years, and that you're living for 3 years from house to house with a bicycle and literally no money, like no money. That's difficult for the court to process as well. You were in a program that could promise you almost a job, and you didn't bother to see it through.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You were in a program that pretty much guarantees you a job if you follow through with it, and you couldn't follow through with it.
I did, man. The guy never reached back out to me as far as what I need to do.
And he doesn't need to be reaching out to him. You should be beating down his door.
Man, I'm not gonna say I haven't been beating down no doors, even just like calling defects, man. I called defects last week to find out that as far as saying getting this issue resolved. I couldn't even get the issue resolved with defects, so I had to go up to the office where they barely even let me in the door because they said they was closed just to even handle the situation to get to this point right here.
I don't know what any of that means, but what I'm saying to you is I'm going to follow back up and I'm going to put you back in this program. Mr. Chestnut, you cannot come back to me and tell me that they didn't follow up. You better do everything that you know how to do, because the next time you come through and you tell me that, I'm going to ignore you, because I know it's not true, because you've had this opportunity before. Okay. So
yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give you this second opportunity to do this program the way it's supposed to be done. In the interim, you need to hustle and do what you need to do, because the $100 will stay in place. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get this job and get yourself in order. After that, Mr. Chestnut, all right, I'm going to revert you back to this $898. And if you fail to pay it, you fail to pay it, and we'll proceed in that fashion. Do you understand that? Okay. Do you have a criminal history outside of this pending matter?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
Yes, ma'am.
What year are you talking about?
Almost, it should be like 20 years ago.
Okay. Mhm. There are people who have criminal histories 2 years old who work, 3 years old who work. And so you'd have a pending matter. I'm sure that could cause some delays, but not 3 years worth of delays.
Mhm.
I'm going to put you in this program. Again, you're to follow the directions of the program. And if you come back out of the program, it's going to be in violation of a court's order, and I will take you into custody. Okay, Mr. Chestnut,
Yes, ma'am.
keep it at $100 a month. Mr. Chestnut, you need to pay it. You need to figure out a way of paying it. Anything else is a violation of the court's order. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Fatherhood program, got 7 days to make contact with them.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's the order of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be, well, maybe
We didn't.
Yes, you may.
We didn't get to the.
All right,
Thank you, Judge.
thank you. Bye-bye.